Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
How we doing, folks? We are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. And if you want to talk to us live, 888-787-CLIFF, 888-787-CLIFF. Particularly if you've got insurance questions, because it's now time for some insurance talk. We got Richard Tonica, our expert in insurance from the Goosehead Insurance brand. His website, richardtagency.com, richardtagency.com. Hello, Richard.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the most exciting time of the radio show. It's insurance talk.
That's right. It's the most highly rated segment of the show. Richard time.
One of the things I wanted to talk about, and it's a question that I get absolutely all the time, is dwelling value. How is it calculated, and why is it different from the purchase price and or appraised value? And
as in, why is it so much lower?
sometimes it's never, well, I can't say never. It is hardly ever exactly where I want it to be, and it's a conversation that I have with absolutely every buyer or every proposal that I put together for people. They're like, why is this so high? And it's like, or why is it so low? And we really run into the low part on one of the reasons that I was saying that when we were talking about the $1 million homes is you need special insurance for that.
Right.
And you do, because a normal insurance policy isn't going to cover you up to that value. They're going to look at a house and they're going to have a size or a dollar amount per square foot. And $1 million homes do not subscribe to the normal dwelling value calculations. And so you have to have certain carriers. And it's one of the beautiful things that I do is we have carriers set up that specialize in every brand or every type of house that you can possibly have. And it's not just one carrier that we have. It's always multiple carriers that we get to shop your insurance with. But that being said, we're going to kind of concentrate on a normal home, anything less than $1 million, because two or three of the people that I was working with this week, they had homes that were $650,000 to $800,000 homes. Now, when I did my normal replacement cost estimator, and it's going to vary from carrier to carrier, but every carrier that I had wasn't even coming close to the loan amount or the amount that the bank would approve for their insurance to be at. Because obviously your home insurance, if you have a mortgage on your home, you want your home insurance to be at least as much as the mortgage. That way you're covered if anything catastrophic should happen and you lose your home, you can't live there, because your bank is still going to want their money.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter if a tornado comes through, a fire comes through, hell just demolishes, doesn't matter. Bank wants their money.
Yep.
And
that's right.
The whole idea of insurance, or the whole purpose of your insurance, is to make sure that you've got that taken care of if any one of those things should happen. Because it's going to take you 15, 30 years to pay this house off. But if one of those things comes through and demolishes your house, we're going to take care of it right then and there for you. So on your dwelling value, it's like I said, it's going to change from carrier to carrier, because everyone has a different software that they use for your replacement cost estimator. And so there are some carriers that all they want to see is $85 a square foot. Is that a realistic amount for your house to replace it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Every case is different. But there are some where you go in and you go into their proprietary software and you start putting in how many double doors, how many French doors, what's the kitchen upgrade, what are their bathrooms like, how many bathrooms, how big is the garage, blah, blah, blah. And you start listing every one of these items that you know about this house. And that's one of the things that I love about Zillow and stuff like that, is going in on there and being able to find that information out readily. It's readily available if it's been put in there. And so you start going through there and you start reconstructing the house on the percentages for flooring and everything else. And then it gives us that dwelling value. And So that dwelling value isn't necessarily going to be your appraised value or your market value. How exciting is this?
Very. This is important information.
Yes, it is. But, and so when you're looking at it, you're looking at, I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that I'm putting the information into the system as accurately as I can. Because if something happens, you want your house replaced the way it is. You don't want something cheaper. If I go in there and I say that you've got builder grade everything and you've actually got a nicer house than that, well, if that tornado comes through and they start coming in and start replacing everything, they're going to replace it with builder grade stuff.
Right.
And you're not going to be happy. And so that's going to, I mean, I understand that everyone wants to keep their rates as low as possible. And part of doing your dwelling value and keeping it as low as possible has really two benefits or pitfalls for you. One is when it's time for a claim, that's how everything's going to be replaced. That's how they're going to look at it, and they're saying, well, when we insured this home, you said that this was the case, and this is what we're going to replace it with. But a lower dwelling value actually keeps your rate lower because you're not insuring as much. So it's not just keeping or it may or may not keep your rate lower. It's definitely going to keep your deductible lower, because the lower your dwelling value, the lower that you're insuring. And so let's say your dwelling value is $250,000. If it's a 1% deductible, that's $2,500 that is your deductible. Let's say we can get your dwelling value down to $200,000. Your loan's $190,000, so you're okay. You're covered on your loan, and your home is still covered. Now, instead of $2,500 for your deductible, now you're down $2,000. So you're saving $500 on any claim. And so that's where we start playing with everything and start looking at everything, making sure that we have all the information in as accurately as possible, but still maintaining the fact that you're above your loan amount. Because if you're below your loan amount, and this is especially true on the first year purchasing the home, because everyone has a fine-tooth comb that they are going through everything. I've had some loans or some insurance policies that have been kicked back because we didn't have a period in the middle, next to the middle initial. So everything has to be exact as far as the title company and closing and getting all that stuff done. And we do that. But I mean, after year one and year two, you start looking at things, it's a little bit more relaxed, and you can go in and start playing with that stuff. But we're still keeping it in there as accurately as possible, and to make sure that you're covered where you need to be.
Yeah, it's all about risk management. And what people don't seem to understand, where the irony is that, you know, the insurance companies are constantly evaluating you as risk based, but you're not evaluating yourself as a consumer, your risk with your insurance company. So you need to make sure that you're covered. You have that balance of, look, you've got a decent rate, but you've got the best policy, which Richard can get you, but making sure that you are covered. So keeping track of all the upgrades that you make to your home to make sure that you are taken care of. Should something happen, like you say, something does happen, you don't want to get builder grade, you know, when you've put in thousands and thousands, tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars of upgrades into your home.
Absolutely. But we don't want to overinsure it either.
Exactly. You want that balance. You want that perfect balance of being covered. Something should happen, but also you don't want to pay through the nose every month, you know, when likelihood may be slim.
Yes. And that's part of, I mean, like I said at the very beginning, I mean, that's one of the things that I love about what I do is being able to shop it with all those different carriers to make sure that you're getting the best policy at the best price. Because like I always say, it doesn't matter how great the price is if you don't have a great policy to go along with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, you know, if you don't know about the Goosehead model, which Richard is with, you know, he can shop over 20 different companies, 25 different companies that he can shop for you, and he can mix and match. He might have the best auto policies with one company, best homeowners policy with another company, maybe toys with another company. And guess what? You still get bundle discounts, the famous bundle discounts, but you're getting better policies. You're getting matched policies to you, your specific person, not just generic policy for everybody. like the Allstates and the State Farms and the Farmers of the world. He's shopping behind the scenes companies you can't even get to. And this is what he does for a living. He does it very, very well. And he really cares about you. He's going to take care of you. His website, richardtagency.com. richardtagency.com for all of your insurance needs. Anything else, Mr. Richard?
No, I actually finished on time for once, and so.
Good job, sir. Fine job. Hey, folks, we're going to take a short break. See you in a few.